Hello Flosstube, welcome back. This is episode number 8. It is Thursday the 12th of December today, and I'm a bit earlier than normal because I have to come and show you all of my Christmas decorations. I've just got so much to share with you today that I couldn't even write an agenda. I've just had to pile it all up, and I'm going to work my way through it, hopefully in some kind of order. There's a lot to share. I think it's going to be a long one, hopefully not too long, and I'm excited. I just love Christmas time so much. It's a bittersweet time of the year because I lost my mum at Christmas, but she loved Christmas so much, and when I was a child we were spoilt. It was the one time of the year that we would just be totally inundated with gifts, and our Christmas stocking was always very precious. So I'm super excited to share with you all my finishes. I'm going to save those right till the end, and I've had a really late night. I'm so tired today because I took like video clips of all the decorations last night when the lights were on and it had gone dark. So hopefully you'll stay till the end and watch that and enjoy it. So what have I been up to since I saw you last? Well, I've got some photographs in at the end to share with you a little trip that I had with Harriet. We went to stay at the Pig, which is a really, really lovely chain of hotels. There's quite a few of them actually around the UK, but it's very, it's just lovely. They're out in the countryside, and this is one that was between Bath and Bristol. And Harriet, I think I mentioned it on one of my earlier Flosstubes, you know, she's a doctor, she works in London, she's started her like core medical training, even though she's fully qualified. She's I suppose in the old days we would have called her an SHO, a senior house officer. So she's working at UCL in London, and the night shifts are just a killer. So when she gets the odd batch of days off back to back, she likes to do something, you know, a treat or something relaxing. So she said, Mum, why don't we go and do something cozy? And she got a good midweek deal at the Pig, which used to be called Hunt Street House in Bath. So off we went. This is week before last, and had the most amazing time. And yes, I did have pork. It was the best pork I've probably ever had. And I copied a recipe out of the Pig book actually for belly pork, which I've never cooked before, but now the last 2 Sundays we've had roast belly pork and apple sauce, absolutely delicious. So I've got some fab photos, and it was so nice to spend time with Harriet because she's working Christmas Day and she's also working New Year's Day, so she won't really be home over Christmas. So luckily I've got 2 other daughters and all the family to share, but to share Christmas with. But yeah, so we had a lovely treat, and that was what I've been up to in terms of trips away. And then last weekend I had my family Christmas, which was so lovely because we haven't all got together for years, but this time, apart from one boyfriend was missing, all the kids and their partners came and had a Christmas party at my house last Saturday. So it was fantastic fun. I've got some fabulous photos of Grandad, my dad, who's 88, as you know, with all the grandchildren, and one with the partners as well. And it was so much fun. I don't get to see my brother that often, even though we're terribly close. I've got a lovely picture of me and Simon together, and one of all the kids with Dad, and one of me making snowballs, which is our favourite Christmas cocktail. So please go and have a look at the photos at the end. So that's what I've been up to. In terms of my stitching, let's get started. So since I saw you last, I'm really surprised to say that I've only had one finish, but a finish is a finish, so one's better than none. And this, you might all have guessed already what I would have been working on. This is the Stacey Nash gingerbread house that she had the chart for the Jingle Ball. So I signed up for the Jingle Ball. Unfortunately, I mean, the thing is, last weekend when I had my family party, I knew I'd have a lot of cooking and things, but the house there were 16 of us. It was very, very busy, and everyone slept between me and Dad's house, everyone stayed. So there was a lot of work. And also there was a storm that weekend, really, really bad flooding. Both of the bridges into Wales were closed. So my niece had to go up around Gloucester to get to me. And it meant that the trains back to London were cancelled on the Sunday afternoon and evening. And so the kids had to stay another night, which was fabulous, to be hunkered down with them in the storm. It was so nice, but it meant that there's no way I could go to the Jingle Ball. So I caught up on the finishing class on the recording, which is just such a good idea to do that. And I really, really enjoyed listening back to Stacey. I've met her at Cowslip. She's such a laid back, lovely, lovely lady. I could listen to her for hours. Well, we did, didn't we? And she just likes slow stitching, sewing by hand. So, I mean, I'm a bit more impatient than that. So I struggled with this, but these were the linings that I picked. I put a gingham on the front, on the backing of the front. And then the first time I started with the back, and of course I made a mistake. I put the batting as the lining. So the gingham lining is on the inside where the batting should be. But it was a happy mistake because actually it looks lovely, and it looks a bit like icing around the gingerbread. So I kept it. I didn't unpick it. I kept that as it was. So there's the back. It's such a pretty stitch. I know everybody's seen this, and if you went to the Jingle Ball, I'm pretty sure you would have bought this chart. So I did finish the stitching in plenty of time, but I couldn't go to the class live. I did have the wool, and this was actually much easier to work with than I thought. I thought it would be really frayed, but it wasn't. But I was too nervous to cut a hole in it to put the buttonhole. You're meant to sort of slice it with the scissors. I didn't do that. I just put a popper on there, and I'm keeping my snips in here, my Kohana snips. This is one of the winter whites, and some Bowen needles, and some of my lovely Chapel View Craft pins, there's a cream scone there. And so, yeah, and I bought this ribbon. It's just the same type that Stacey gave us all the tips for. It's just like a bias binding ribbon, and I think it's, I've forgotten where I buy them. I can look it up for next time and tell you, but I think it's Crafty Ribbons UK. It's online, and they're so cheap. You can order meters and meters of this in all different colours, and this is the champagne colour, so I didn't even need to tea dye it. It just came in the right colour, so I couldn't be more happy with that. What I loved that Stacey said is that she really likes designing things that have a practical use, not just things that always need expensive framing. So in the grand scheme of things, this is a lot cheaper to finish than framing everything. So I'm all for that. So that was my fully finished object since I saw you last. Okay, and then what have I been stitching on? Well, I have got lots and lots of cross stitch to show you this time. So let's start with my favourite girl. I always show you my fabulous Stitch Folk bag, specially designed for Charlotte Warrington by Needlework Press. So this is Barry Hamby, you'll all know, with Stitch Folk, and beautifully lined in all these. Now, these are French General, I'm pretty sure, these fabrics. And the panel. So this is what the cross stitch kind of looks like. So that's the project bag. This is what the chart looks like. And I've actually started this time on some of the brickwork. These are the threads and the lovely scissor fob, or to match the chart, with these bright, bright colours. So pretty, all weeks. And this project, remember, is stitched on. And I think there's going to be another release of this. I just saw it somewhere, maybe Instagram, this week. There's going to be a third release. Vicky from Needlework Press. So here we are. This is 40 count, weak straw, and I think the next release is also going to be on weak straw. So I think the first release was on hog bristle, but this linen I love. Look at the colour of it. So last time I had filled in the grass up to the little goat here, and I'd done some of the white fence and some of this grey. So I've done all this fill in here of green, this bit here, this here, and I've started working on the brickwork and put in this, is it like a gravestone or some sort of door? It's hard to tell. But so this is really, really starting to take shape, and I love it. In fact, I forced myself to do this Flosstube today because she's ironed, ready to take a photo and share with you. And really, because I stitch in hand. I remember Tara saying this actually on her latest Flosstube, that I stitch exactly like her. I stitch in hand and I roll it, so it always will need an iron because mine are completely curled up by the end of my monthly stitching session on this. So it's nice and iron flat, and I am dying to get back to her. So this is Lottie, and the house is starting to take shape with that glorious red brick. So love it. Can't wait to get back to it. So that is Charlotte. Okay, next, you'll remember I tried to do a little bit on this one. So this is Hands Across the Sea in my fabulous Laurie Holt panel bag with the Prairie range. I quilted the back of that one. I don't do it to all of them, but and this is lined with some leftover wide back that I had from my Happy Place quilt, which is on the settee, Laurie Holt quilt. And this is my Welsh girl. So this is Jane Bannister, 1855, Hands Across the Sea. And I have been sitting on this chart for a long time. Phil bought it for me for a gift, and he kitted this up at 123 Stitch, I think, because he clicked everything to go with it. So I wouldn't dream of doing that, but he bought me all the Verissoir silks, which are just fabulous. Some of the rosy pinks in here and the O'Donnell, gorgeous colours, love it. So this is Jane, and it's on an unnamed 37 count linen by Tabby Cat, because when I went to the Great British Sampler weekend, Michelle, I keep wanting to call her Deborah, I don't know why, Michelle had a lovely stall. Look at this linen. Really fabulous. So I've taken a few before and after photos, only a few this time. I did do one for Lottie, and I've done it for this. So I know last time I'd come up to this white flower here. Yeah, this is the bottom, and up to the top of the white flower there. So this time I put in all of this, the blues and the pinks and some of the leaves, and the same, because remember I've sussed that if you're doing this one, it's matched the same colours on the bottom. So it makes sense to do those two flowers at the same time. So hopefully I'll be able to keep going in that pattern. And it does take a long time. It's so stop-start. Sometimes there's just 2 stitches in one colour. So it's time-consuming, but it's just so pretty. And working with the silks is so fun. And they're very sort of thick and fluffy, so the 37 count is perfect. I'm not sure I'd like to do this on 40 count with this silk, because it is quite puffy, if that makes sense. And when it comes to doing this full coverage, the little pastoral scene here And the cats, I think it's going to be really challenging. So I'm glad I'm working on 37 count for this one. So that is Jane Bannister. Really love her, and I'm really enjoying working on her. So hopefully I'll keep, at least for the next couple of months, I'd really like to keep going and do a little bit every month on her. Now, next we had a lot of Christmas stitching, because do you remember I didn't show you my book of days. This reminds me, I always forget to show my book of days. You all know this, and we pre-ordered the 2025. I've used it for years. I really love it. So November looked like this. I think I stitched every day unless I was in Galley Bay. And I have, December is really busy because I'm tracking all my advent calendar things in here. So every day, except today, obviously, I'm a bit behind. Oh, look at my Barry Stitch Folk sticker. And these have come out of a couple of the advent calendars and various things. This is off a Barry box, I'll show you later. And I've had Red Pear by Weeks. I've used lots of that for my Stacey Nash. I finished a skein on the gingerbread house. And the other one is Linen, which is like actually it's a very pale pink. So that's also been, I finished a whole skein on, I've used it for various Stacey projects because I think it was in Clovis, the Badger, the crackers as well. But I finished that off on the gingerbread house. So, and this is a clue to one of the things that I'm going to be showing you later. So this is my Plum Street, a sticker from Paulette. So exciting. So that's my book of days, and the reason I wanted to remember that was just, you'll remember I did the Great British Bake Off challenge, which is by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, who does Whip Go. And so many of my Christmas projects were listed on here, and the Welsh girl won it, by the way. Georgie won Bake Off. I hope I'm not, it finished a while ago now, so there's no spoiler alerts for that. But so this is one of the projects that was called, and this is in my lovely Christmas fabric little project bag that I made myself. And this is by Prairie Schooler, and it's called Button Up, which is just the cutest little thing. I completely forgot that this is even in one of my whip baskets. So I do love Whip Go for, and challenges like that. This is got a little needle minder of a gingerbread house. So cute. I think that came from Chapel View Crafts as well. She didn't do an advent box this year. I normally get one if she does, because you get all the lovely little cakes to hang on your zippers and various pins and things if you wanted. So I worked on this only a little bit. One day I got to this, and this time I finished off the saying up here. This is on 36 count Weeks Putty. I thought it was 40, but it says on the thing 36. Button up to the chin till May comes in, winter. And I've just started the second block. And in fact, I've got a hanging thread on the back there, which I had to pull through when I was ironing it. And it's just lovely. I hope the light's good enough. I'll take a photo as well. Put it in at the end. So not enough progress, but every little stitch helps, doesn't it? So I'll be getting back to that. The great thing is that the two things that were called on my Whip Go, I've already finished. One of them was Regina Hable by With Thy Needle and Thread that I showed you probably 2 floss tubes ago. And another project which I'd already worked on, it was a Plum Street. So now I'm free for the rest of the month to do any Christmas stitching that I like. So the next project I was going to show you, this is in, I couldn't remember what this was called last time, but this is my Kathy Holden fabric bag that I made called Christmas Fair. Absolutely gorgeous fabric. I made lots and lots of little table gifts to take to the attic last year with this, and this is in my 5 times blessed little toadstool I got from her. Yeah, love this. So this was Stacey Nash Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, and last time I only had one of the berry border pieces started. I think I had this one here. So I carried up and all the way across the top here. And oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I just love Stacey's borders. And once I got going and found a sort of pattern, got into the rhythm of it, I couldn't put it down. I can't wait to get back to it. Yeah, I'm really excited to start proper Christmas stitching, and hopefully I'll get a few days between Christmas and New Year where it'll be quiet and I'll be able to just stitch all day. Can't wait. So that's Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. The other one in this project bag, did I say that was by Stacey Nash? And that's the chart. And this one, also in the same bag, was Pomegranate Santa, which I love. Look at those pomegranates. So this is by Plum Street. And this is my progress. Now I've done a bit more. I did quite a few evenings work on this. The pomegranates are amazing. They just look 3D because of the white stitches makes them look like they're shining. So all I've done this time is finished off all the reindeers, because last time they only had their antlers in. So I've done all of those, and I think that brown was Muddy Puddle. It's really variegated. So some of them are a lot darker than the other. And here's Rudolph, because he's got one red stitch on his nose. Yeah, and I've started the white fill-in, which is Shabby Sheep. And yeah, I've started to fill in between the reindeer. So not too much to go. And then I need to make a big decision on the green, whether to darken up the green, because this is on 40 count Weeks Confederate Grey. It's the old base, which is okay. And once it's ironed, it comes up really nicely. So the white is popping on it, but this pale green isn't strong enough to work. I couldn't get the call for. I think it was a Lakeside. Let me have a look what the call for was. Yeah, it was Lakeside. It was Vintage Exemplar 36. So the green might have showed a bit better on that. It's not great on there. So I'm going to find a darker green to fill in the Christmas tree there. But I'm zooming in on a close for that, close to a finish. Love it. I can't wait to have that. So I haven't got that many pieces to frame, although it says it's going to be a pillow, so I don't know. We'll see. Then my next project, this is in my glorious Hands Across the Sea Words of Wisdom bag that I got with the box, which I still haven't properly opened. I've taken a couple of things out of it, but I haven't looked at the charts closely. I don't know what that's about. I need to do it at some point and come and share it with you. So this houses my Carriage House Samplings Hawk Run Hollow, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. And again, this called for 40 count exemplar from Lakeside, but I found that I was just sitting on all these charts and not starting it. So I've given up now, and I found a replacement. And this replacement fabric is 40 count Fox and Rabbit Desert Taipan, and I'm just using the DMCs for this. And I tell you, there's a lot of stitching in this block I'm still on the first block. Have you seen Heidi Whips and Kits finish this block? And I dropped her a note just to say, I can't believe how quickly she must have worked on that for days, because I'm nowhere near filling in this big blue peacock here. Actually, could you believe I didn't have the DMC thread? I'd run out of it. So I heard the bells on Christmas Day. This turquoise is gorgeous, and I think the bird is going to be in a darker blue like this. I'm doing this in the DMC, not the MPIs, and there are two different golds on those crowns, which they're almost identical, my two DMCs. So sorry for the trailing thread here. I'm still counting in the green across the bottom. Love this fabric. So although it's 40 count, it's so lovely to work on desert taipan. And that's what I did my Stacey Nash cherry, you know, the Cowslip Studio project. I forgot what it was called. Was it strawberry or cherry? It was something gorgeous anyway. And that's the fabric I used for that by, because I couldn't get needle bling. Yes, so that's going to be really pretty. And I know Lisa, Kindred Stitcher, has finished this, and it takes a huge amount of time and effort. So I might have to move it onto a monthly stitch at some point. And then I had a new start. Now, I showed you quite a few of the Christmas projects that I really wanted to start in my basket last time. I've still got my basket under the table. And this is one that I picked up. This is the Scarlet House, and it's called Jingle All the Way. Sorry for the glare. And this is on 40 count. I think it called for 36, but I could only get 40. And this is Picture This Plus Swamp. And the red is, now what is this? It's KN. So I didn't use the silks. I'm using Classic Colourworks, KN and Toasted Marshmallow. And I've still got, I do apologise, I've still got my needle in here. Yeah, so that's going to be Jingle All the Way, and I'll probably put a rusty bell, and I think it's really lovely actually. It's quite different, isn't it? I might hang it on the mirror in the hall where I normally put my wordplay. I haven't got many word plays, but the ones I've got I hang there. And this is in my little gingerbread bag that was housed in my Stacey Nash project. And the other one that's in here, yeah, those are the threads for that. Scarlet House, KN and Toasted Marshmallow. Gorgeous colours. And the other one in here is this one that I decided to do, even though this is 32 count, Picture This Plus Brash. But seeing as I wouldn't normally choose 32 count, I will do 1/2, not 2/2 on this. This is Abbey Rose Designs Primitive Christmas, Primitive Merry Christmas Pillow. I just love that. I love the way it's finished as well. So I'm just going to use this. I'm not going to waste it. I'm fine to 40 count. I'm going to use it. I think it's just such a lovely colour for those threads. And these are the threads. I've even done, I was organised years ago and I used to do my little thread bling. And yeah, now this is interesting actually. There's Cherry Bark, which is gorgeous, by the Gentle Art, and then Cranberry, and they're quite different, my two cranberries. One is quite pink and one is more of a red. So I put both on there just so I can see which looks better with the Cherry Bark. And the other thing that's really weird is the difference in these two. They're both parchment. One is cream and one is like grey with, it's even got I don't know what you can see in this light, but it's got like bits of blue and green in it. So very random, so different. You wouldn't say they were the same colours. So yeah, Gentle Art, I don't know, one is a 10-yard skein. Whether that makes a difference, I don't know. But I actually love the colour of this one with the blue and green on it. But I'll see which looks best. So look at that, gorgeous colours. Yeah, so that's what's in that project bag. And I think the Jingle All the Way won't take very long to stitch at all. So that might be one I go back to this evening. I tell you what, it's taken me all day to prep all this. My ironing board is overwhelming. Right, I've still got more. We're at 30 minutes. I've still got a lot to show you guys. Right, then, now, this is, I don't know how to introduce this. This is in one of my bags I bought from Val at Patchwork Paw Print before I had a go at making my own. I always used to buy my bags from Val. And this is, I think it's Acufactum with the little winter mice. So sweet and so beautifully made. So this has got a multitude of different threads, considering it's quite a small stitch. And this is on my Attic needle bling. And I've also got a special little zipper pull on here from Lady Dot Creates with all the Christmas charms. Oh, I don't know. It's got Santa and a snowflake and a tree. It's so pretty because this came in one of my, it's called Zip It by Lady Dot Creates. I know someone I'd like to give that to. And it came in one of my advent boxes, which I'd like to show you actually, the first sort of, where are we, 12 days. 12 days of Christmas in a couple of advent boxes, if I get time at the end. So this is one of the charts that came in the Kitten Stitcher, with the Zip It, and this chart came yesterday by Plum Street Samplers, a merry gentleman. And when I saw it, and this isn't like me, I just had to start it straight away. I didn't have the fabric. It called for 36 count cappuccino by Fibre on a Whim. I've got a lot of Fibre on a Whim, but not that colour. So I picked the threads. I had all the threads. No, I didn't actually. I didn't have Terrapin by Weeks, which is what the bag. I would have started there otherwise, but I didn't have that thread, so I've ordered that from Peakside. But I did a floss toss on the fabrics that I did have and thought that this linen was pretty much a perfect match. And this was 40 count Seraphim, have I written it down? I have. Prairie Grass, which I love. It's got mottling, a little bit of green, but also like a pinky, tanny colour. The light's going, so I'm not sure how true to life that is. But I made a little start yesterday on that. And I did the little first cardinal 1/1. And he's going to be holding the Merry flag. But what I loved about this is his beard is almost identical to Pomegranate Santa. So it's like a little partner, and all the snow at the bottom. It's going to be like a similar stitch to Pomegranate Santa, which I am loving. So that's another one. I haven't even taken the needle out. I had it all rolled up yesterday to make a start, and I can't wait to get back to that maybe this evening. Sorry, I think I hit the camera. Then I've got a few plans. So in terms of stitching plans, I had this on my Bake Off challenge and it didn't get called. So this is one that I would love to get back to. These are some of the colours. I think the greens must have been poached for something else. So quite bright candy colours. And sure enough, it is called Candy Cane Lane. So this is an old one of the earliest patterns I ever bought, actually, by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Be Jolly, and I just love it. Look at the little sweaters and the sweeties, the candy canes, the reindeer, the cake, the red house. Love it all. So I forgot how much progress. I've made loads of progress on this. So I'm very, very excited to get back to it. And I'm not that far off a finish. So this is on natural raw linen by Zweigart. It's 40 count and the stitches are tiny and really, they're always very neat on. I don't like using this linen now, but I started this a long time ago. I wouldn't have known any different. And this natural raw linen is, because it's quite stiff, so your stitches sit really, really neatly. So white stitching always looks really good, I think, on this linen. Yeah, so I think this is one I'd love to get framed, or maybe do a little board finish, like I did for my Christmas list and showed you last time. So that's one I thought for a plan. And this is in, I've no idea, I think it might be Stacey, I can't say her surname, Hugh Sue fabric, and a candy stripe lining that I made myself, and a little fruit pie from Chapel View Craft. Yeah, so that's one that I'm sort of nearer a finish. So I've got quite a few new stars and one that's closer to a finish. Then I've got another one I forgot about, didn't share with you last time. Can't wait to get back to this one as well. These colours are cool. So this is It's Cold Outside by With Thy Needle and Thread. Now someone's got this finished, and is it Holly, Mrs. Jones stitches, or it might be Annie, the proper stitcher. I've seen this on someone's shelf behind them. I think it is Holly. It might be both of them, and I love it. I've only made a small start on this, but the colours are so. Again, I must have poached the pinks, but yeah. So I've just started on the Borough flag, and then I need to do the two snowmen. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so cute. So there's a lot of fun stitching to be had this time of the year, which is really nice to balance with your big samplers like Lottie and Jane. And these are really cute. These are more of the Kathy Holden Christmas fair that I took as table gifts. So they're just little thread beds. But look how, aren't they lovely? Her fabrics are so cool. And this is in another gingerbread little mini bag that I made. So that's another one I'd like to see if I can get some time on. Then I also have another of Val's Acufactum fabric, The Girls with the Sheep, a winter scene. So patchwork paw print Val, and I've got a little strawberry tart on this one. And this is With Thy Needle and Thread. So we've got a few in here. Here's a clue. So I've got the 3 baubles. Honestly, I've got the fabric cut. I think this is 40 count. Vintage Country Mocha. This is Reindeer Games by Brenda with Thy Needle and Thread, of course. They're so cute. I need to start these. And I didn't get the globe, but I'm sure we can come up with another finish. I'm pretty sure someone else had a really good idea for how to finish this. Snow Magical, again by Brenda. They came out at the same time. I think it was last year, if not the year before. So I've got all the fabrics to go. And Snow Magical is on 40 count Seraphim Tobias, which I might use. I've got it, but I might just match it to the other ones, the reindeer games, so that they kind of go together as a set. And then my last plan here, actually it's not my last, I'm fibbing, was this one. Now this I pulled out because on the Bake Off Challenge, Christian finally won Star Baker one of the weeks. I think it was the last but 1 week. He did amazingly well. And the project assigned to him in my 12 Christmas projects was this one, Quaker Christmas 2 by Bygone Stitches. Now that's a terrible photograph because the linen's all folded up on the corner, but I kind of understand why, because it's a huge piece. And this is one of my earliest projects that I started after lockdown. So this is it a 2020? It's been going for years. This linen is 40 count clotted cream by Foxglove and Lace, a lovely lady called Hazel Anderson. And I has this project in another of my Kathy Holden Christmas Fair fabric bags that I made myself, which I love. And I'm pretty sure I got this from 5 Times Blessed when I was at the attic, a wooden strawberry. And these are the threads for this project. And these are all I've got left. So it's Currant, which is the most glorious Gentle Arts red, Christmas red, when I used to make all my little scissor fob things. And so Currant, you can see how many I've used. All the currants I need to stick in my book of days. Man. And this is the green, Blue Spruce. What a fabulous pair of colours they are. And this project, it's amazing. It is amazing. Why I'm not stitching on it, I don't know. I need to get it right back out this Christmas. She's massive. She's not as big as Lottie, but not far off. Wow. Look. I mean, what can I say? I just love it. I've been working on this. When I first started it, I used to try and do a page a month. Well, it's such intense stitching. It's like Christmas at Hawker and Hollow. It's just not going to happen because I'm not a monogamous stitcher. But if I was, you know, it's doable. But I'm not. So I was falling behind. So then I try 1 a quarter or just, you know, one of these Quaker motifs and then put it away. But I just love this. I love the green text. It's just so clever because, look, all the old hymns. Oh, come all ye faithful. It came upon a midnight clear. Star of wonder. The first Noel. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Let there be peace on earth. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I mean, the detail. Oh, Christmas tree. What else we got? White Christmas. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. God rest ye merry gentlemen. Tiny, tiny backstitch. There's so much detail in here. Look, the little drummer boy. What's this? Hark the herald angels sing. I've gone along the bottom. Away in a manger. Look, we've got the partridge and the pears. Partridge in a pear tree even. Oh, it's just, I mean, it's just so beautiful. The 3 ships, I saw 3 ships. And over here, Ave Maria. Oh, look at it. I mean, honestly, I showed this to Phil the last time I had this out, which must have been last Christmas. And he said, oh, that'll make a lovely tea towel. I don't know. I mean, what am I going to do with it? It's huge. It should go in a frame and just, what, come out at Christmas? I don't know. I'm in no rush to finish it because I can't afford to frame it. I don't know what I would do with it, but I just love it. How effective is that? Just 2 different colours crammed in. Almost every stitch, almost every, you know, piece of linen is covered in a stitch here and there. Heart the Herald there. The little stockings. Anyway, I'm spending too long on that, but I wanted you to see it because it's funny, you forget, you put things away and you just forget how much you've worked on it. And Narissa's right, it's 1 stitch at a time, isn't it? And all these things come together as if by magic. It's got to be a 4-year project, that. So that's a plan for the Christmas break. I'm going to lock myself in one day and not answer the doorbell, which goes all day, every day. And I'm going to do some stitching. And then, do you remember another plan I had in my gorgeous, gorgeous bag off Barry? Oh, look. Beautiful tomato bag. Such a kind gift. I still can't get over it. This is a project that I really would like to start with my friends. Kirsty, Crafting Kirsty, and a few of her mates are starting this. So I thought, I didn't start it last year. I'll wait for them. And I'm no good at stitch alongs, but I can do a start along with them and see how we go. I just love this. Ever since I saw Reese down in, is it Australia or New Zealand? Reese, I do miss her Flosstubes. I could quite happily go back and watch them all. So this is by Manny Di Donna and Eunice Tanquerel. It's a sampler, and I don't think the chart's going to be nice. But I'm just using the DMC for this. And remember, my lovely friend Roberta from Sable Stitches bought me a piece of cocoa, Weeks Dye Work cocoa, 40 count. Actually, this is another piece that I've got from Peakside because her piece was from Hollis Hands Creates, Kathy at Hollis Hands Creates, who I love her Flosstube too. So I'm just doing all the DMC for that. I find the DMC, absolutely love it. And so that's got a beautiful bag all ready to go for January. So that's plans for cross stitch. Some more plans. I've got, remember this gorgeous portfolio by Canny Little Fox, and in here I really need to set aside a morning to use my tiny little holly print that I bought at the Stitchery to finish off these, and I want to do a few more because I've only done 3. I did these back in the summer when we all did Christmas in July, and then I've come to a grinding halt. So I need to finish these. That's 1 and 2. And here's the 3 French hens with the beads all done. And I stuck them onto the cardboard. So I just need to put the backing on, but I think it's going to be fiddly. And I'm going to be using my vanilla Lady Dot Creates that I bought from Jeff P. Smith. And Trudy sent me this cute little note with that. So yeah, so that's something that I'm really keen to get back to and add to my plans. Oh, honestly, I've got so much Christmas stitching, it's hard to know where to stop. Then Rika's portfolio. This is another one, Christmas plans to get back to. Haven't had a chance this month to get back to my Plum Street, Christmas in July. Look how beautiful that is, on 40 count Fox and Rabbit Saltbush, one of my favourite linens. So I need to get back to that. That's a plan. And then this is in my other Christmas portfolio from Canny Little Fox. And this was actually called on the Bake Off game, but I didn't have a chance to get back to it. So this portfolio houses all of my Prairie Schooler, and the one I want to get back to is the Old World Santas, because I finished 3 out of the 8, and they are absolutely gorgeous. So I'll show you those when I come to my finishes at the end. But I've got the linen all here, 36, I've got 40 and 36 count, all week's putty, loads of it, plenty of it. So I've got all the threads living in here. So everything's in my portfolio, just ready to go if I can just lock the door and get down to it. So that's my stitching, and that's my cross stitch. And then I wanted to share with you, how are we doing? 50 minutes. Right, I've got way too much. Okay, then I'm going to move on and show you some of my embroidery. Now, last month, I'm not sure if this had arrived. I think it might have just arrived that day. This was for October, and it came in this beautiful card pocket for a floral year. This was October. These were the gorgeous colours. So there's pinks, dusty greens and golds. So pretty. And it was called Mexican Fleabane. So we have the tiniest of cottage gardens at our home. One year I planted a pot of tiny white and pink daisies. They're called erigeron here. Erigeron? Mexican Fleabane. Each year they spread, growing in tiny cracks of pavement and amongst the old stone walls, continuing to bloom despite the challenging weather conditions. The plants are still in full bloom around the house well into November, and I was inspired to create a gentle, subtle, slow-stitched piece that I hope you find relaxing, soothing, and enjoyable to work on. So that's what it looked like, and it's impossible that every month I say this is my favourite. But look how delicate this is. So mainly the white, which was 3865 and 3866, but then you dilute the pink, the 3712, the quite bright pink. You have one thread of that with two of the other whites with it to sort of, and so as you put in the stitches in, it twists and it gives this effect of like, not candy cane, I've got Christmas on the mind. You know that ice cream that's like a ripple, raspberry ripple? That's what it is. And that's what the little flowers look like. It's just clever, so effective. I think it's the first time we've done a heart shape. And so mainly straight little stitches around a French knot in the middle, and seed stitches in the green to make these little V's, which are just, again, it's so simple, but you cram them in. It's all about the texture, and it's all about building up the layers. And the little gold French knots in the middle, I just think it's beautiful. So the chart just doesn't, the chart on the front, it just doesn't almost do it justice of how stunning they turn out. I can't tell you how much I love that one. So that is October. So there are 2 more to come. I haven't had November's yet. As soon as it comes, I will start working on that. And then, oh guys, I had such an amazing treat. I'll put in a picture of the end of what the Stitchery Advent Calendar is. I always have the Advent Calendar, well, for the last 4 or 5 years, and it never, ever disappoints. So every day you get something different, and you normally get 6 mini kits, so full little mini kits, and lots of other useful notions that come with it. So on the first day, this is what we had, with a beautiful, all tied in a ribbon, with brand new packaging, because Nikki's never had this red Christmas packaging before. I mean, isn't it just spectacular? And it says Volume 1 on the side, A Fairy Tale Christmas, and everything is included in the kit. So on the first day, we had the little chart. It's called Into the Woods, and it's based on Little Red Riding Hood. I mean, look how gorgeous she is. And these were the colours. I mean, this is how much is, I couldn't resist. I just had to start her. Gorgeous colours. And you've got the gold thread in there as well, which you use whole. You use a bigger needle and you use it whole. And that's how you can sew with it. If you try to split it, it will just shred and knot and tangle. But if you use it whole in a bigger needle, it goes in nicely. Well, ish, you know. I mean, it's still the devil's hair. But so this is what, where's my board? This is what it looks like. I think I made a post actually on Instagram, so you've probably seen it already. But there she is, Little Red Riding Hood. She's so sweet. Look at the basket, the texture. The trees with thick white. So there's loads and loads of single layers of different greens to make it look like a Nordic spruce. And then you layer on heavy, thick white stitches, like 4 or even more strands to make it look like snow sitting on just a few of the branches here and there. And then the gold thread to do a moon and stars. The hardest thing with these is to make sure you fill up the pattern that's stamped on there, you know, the print, so that you don't see any black lines. It's quite difficult with the snow. But yeah, she's gorgeous. So that's the first one that I did. So that was one of the Advent days. Then one of the others was, oh no, I'm going in the wrong order. The second one, and I won't open anything from after the 12th. Obviously, I'm really good with my calendars. I open them like, you know, only on the day. So there won't be any spoilers, because I know Barry from Stitch Focus got this, and she's opening it day by day with me and being good. I think, honestly, what are we like? The Spellbound Rose, this was the second kit that came. So that I think you have a kit, then you have 2 days of little bits, and then another kit. So this would have been day 4, the Spellbound Rose, based on Beauty and the Beast. And look at the colours. Look at the reds. And this time it had silver to do the glass cloche and to do a little bit of stitching round the rose to make it look magical. Again, I did a post on Instagram because I just couldn't resist. I think this looks amazing. Now, the board's too big. Let me hold it up. So simple, because it's just satin stitch. So you just do a split stitch outline and lay your satin stitches over. And it's just 1 stitch at a time, building them up. And the stem is a whipped split stitch and just a stem stitch around the cloche in silver. I mean, look, isn't it lovely? So that's Beauty and the Beast. That's that one. I'm getting a right old mess over here. And then, oh, this one, as soon as I opened it, I started it, honestly. My house is so dirty. I've done no cleaning. This was called the Pumpkin Coach, obviously based on Cinderella. Look at the pumpkins. This took a long time, actually. I've still got all these threads left over. So these are great for keeping, you know, for any future embroideries that I might want to do. This time it's got the gold on the end. Look at the pinks. Oh, it's just the perfect colours, because this is what the coach, and they're just so much better in real life. Look at the sparkle. Look at the crown with French knots on the end, and look at the bullion knots for the pumpkins, and the roses in the palest different pinks, just built up. They're stem stitches to make the roses. You put a French knot in the middle and just build the stem stitches round. So fun to do. And the wheels are just whipped split stitch. And the carriage window is just gold thread, just split stitch. Just look at it. It shines and it's very princessy. Anyway, so that's the 3 I've done. And I have got, I'm a bit behind actually, because today I haven't done a single stitch in anything. This was the 4th one. So I think this was yesterday or the day before. This is called the Magpie's Christmas Tree. So although there isn't a tale about the magpies specifically, Nikki says that all good children's stories, every fairy tale movie features a cute bird flying around with a flower, ribbon or trinket in its beak. And this tree is inspired by the helpful bird life of our favourite stories. And it came, let me see if I can, with these gorgeous little candy colour beads inside, like hundreds and thousands. So it's a magpie tree because obviously it's a little tree. It's going to be laden with beads and a little ribbon on the top. So the magpies collect all the jewels, don't they? And steal bits of silver. So that's, I can't wait to get stitching on that. And already I've forgotten where these came from. But yeah, so that's that. The only other bit of embroidery I've done, and it's a tiny bit actually, but I did want to show it to you because it did take me a long time. These were part of the Advent last year called the Christmas alphabet, and you'd have 2 letters a day and other things like 6 mini kits. So it was an amazing Advent last year as well. And this time this is creased, I haven't ironed it. This time I added in I finished Noel. I did the oranges, which I think are lovely. It took hours to do that because it's like 3 layers because it's so padded satin stitch. And now I need, then I did the poinsettia in like a rusty red. And now I need to move over to Q, which is Quality Street. So I don't know, am I ever going to finish this? But I can't see it being done for this year, but that's fine, isn't it? There's no rush, I love that. And it's just, you need to get all the threads out and have a clear half-hour slot, you know. And then one thing I thought I would do is, in terms of plans for embroidery, I'm waiting for the last 2 months of a floral year and I'll be working on those. I've also had this last year, which is an embroidered village, gingerbread village embroidered kit. So I did make a start on that. I might show you next time because this could go over, couldn't it, into January stitching. Gingerbread, maybe. That's kind of what it might look like. So I might be able to get to that. But I also thought you might like to see a couple of the other things that I had in the Advent from Nikki in between those kits. So far, we've had bowen needles, size, I think they were 1 to 10, perfect for embroidery, so they're really sharp. Then we had the Sajou number 15 gold thread, which is really nice, lovely, quite expensive. Then we had a Kohana metallic needle minder. I kept it in the box so I could show you what it looks like. I've got a few of these in my Kohana sets and bags that I've had over the years, and they're fantastic. So really lovely. We had a Nerge hoop. You know, I love Nerge. If I have to use a hoop, which I do for embroidery, in size number 1. So, you know, a lovely, it's funny because I bought size 1 at the Stitchery when I was there in November. Then we had a designed candle, Happy Place Stitchery candle, which is just, we haven't got, you can't smell it, but it's fab. And then this morning, I couldn't believe it. We've got the Cosmo threads. You know, Nikki was invited by Cosmo to do a collaboration with them. And in her little stitchery shop, she's got these for sale. And this is the holiday baking collection. Look at the colours. I mean, honestly, that's how famous Nikki Franklin is, that Cosmo Threads have partnered up with her to do her own range. That's how much they love her stitching, don't we all? So that sort of embroidery, then I thought it might be nice to share with you. Oh, and this too. This was yesterday's, a lovely little bundle of French, well, I think they're French, but just vintage linens, all different slabs. Some are thick, some are thin, some are really slubby. So you can do your own little embroidered gifts for people. Make little cards or do what you like. So how thoughtful and kind is that? So that was the advent from Nikki. Then I thought just quickly I would show you one of the other advents I had. This was from So Sweet Violet, who actually really kindly subscribes to my Flosstube. And Jules and her daughter Bryony, I've bought quite a few things from their fabulous shop. I think they're actually stopping trading now. I think there'll be homemade things like project bags, but I don't think they're going to be doing all of the little knitting and things, stitch markers and things in their shop. I don't think so. So I had their 12 Days of Christmas advent box. And so far, so on day one, you had this fabulous project bag. It's sort of really soft with a glittery label and their lovely ribbon. And Bryony and Jules, everything they make is just so gorgeous. So on the first couple of days, I've mixed it all in now, all in this bag, so I could share it with you. But this is the sort of thing that we had. So on day two, you had this project. It's a Happy Hexie needle case. That's what it'll look like. So you had the pattern. And then on the next day, you would have the little hexies. These are in different sizes. So there's pinks and greens. I think that's the theme. And so then on another day, you know, I can't remember which day, you get the wadding and the fabric to make the little project bag up with the linen and this gorgeous stripy fabric. They give you the friction pen. They give you these lovely little woven labels. If they do an advent, I couldn't get the knitting box. That's what I initially would have been my first choice. But I managed to get the Sewist box. Aren't they lovely? So we had that. And then yesterday I opened this. Oh, there's also a thread and the little pouch with the gorgeous gold charm. So isn't that pretty to keep all your sewing bits in? And also a fabulous hand poured Christmassy orange and bergamot candle. So I can't wait now to open those up and sit down one afternoon and have a go on a hexie project. I mean, how excited. This is another little thing actually, a gorgeous little wooden bowl edged in gold, very Kohana-esque, and a little badge with their bee for So Sweet Violet. No, it's not their logo, but isn't it gorgeous? So that was it in one of the days. So that was my So Sweet Violet little 12 Days of Christmas project so far. There's still a few days yet to go because you open an envelope every 3 days, I think it is. And then I made a post, I think yesterday, because my advent box came from Kitten Stitcher. Now, I do have a friend in the States that will ship to me. It's actually a relative of Phil's, and he so kindly agreed to ship me this. Look at this box. Isn't it just fab? With the vintage baubles on the side. Honestly, the box, this is a print that Teresa, who's Shakespeare's peddler and Kitten Stitcher, she bought a print recently from the 1920s, and look at the little girls waiting for Santa to fill the stockings. So I won't show you, well, obviously I can't show you everything but these are some of the designers, all the amazing designers involved with this, and I couldn't believe it. I've shown you the Plum Street one that I opened yesterday. I just had to start it straight away. A Merry Gentleman with the most gorgeous sticker. And this was on the first day. This was the first chart. Noel by Blackbird Designs. It's just lovely. And I see that Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches, has already stitched this up. She did a conversion because she uses, is it cotton garden threads, or she always converts to her own favourite threads, which is great. I'm not that creative. I just do what Alma says to do. But this really touched me, actually. When I read this, I've got the linen as well. It's on Heartland. Picture This Plus. Inside, this is what she says. Noel, after the rush of the holidays, when things begin to quieten down, my favourite time to stitch begins. That's so true. There is something wonderful about listening to audiobooks and putting needle to thread. Although it seems like there are a million berries, this sampler is surprisingly quick to stitch. Just classic Blackbird. Can't wait to stitch on that. I'll just show you a couple of the other charts we had. This touched me because this is, at first I thought it was a typo, because this is by Kathleen, Cross Stitch Antiques. I love her charts. This one is Catherine Sheneman, and it says Cymru, that's how you pronounce it, Cymru Township, which is a settlement in Pennsylvania. But I thought it was a typo and it should say Cymru, because that township was actually started by the Welsh settlers. So Cymru, of course, is Cymru, but obviously it was just converted to this Cymru, and that's how they say it. They don't say Cymru, they say Cymru in that part of the States, in Pennsylvania. Isn't that pretty? So I might have to write Cymru. I don't know if I could do Cymru, but we'll see. This was another one that was so pretty. Home for the holidays, and I ordered the silks from Peakside straight away. Look at that. That white house. Yeah, this was in the Gloriana silks in vanilla. And there aren't that many colours, so I thought I'd treat myself, and it only needed one skein, so I thought that was reasonable enough. Then there was this gorgeous little heartstring samplery snow day. Isn't that lovely? Little stocking to do. And this is lovely. I've never done one by Liz Matthews. Hello from Liz Matthews, but I thought this was lovely. Look at the little houses. So pretty, and the stars across the top. Quite different. Glad tidings of comfort and joy. Oh, love it. And then there was this one by Lila's Studio. I'm doing the Summer Quaker by her. I thought that was very pretty. And then Needlework Press, a collection of red alphabets, 4 red alphabets, really useful for gifts to embroider or cross-stitch the initials onto things. Always looking for things like that. And then today I had Melina Gambay, 1897, and this is by Reflet de Soie. Really pretty. The little ship and the weighing scales. Love that. So that's what we had in terms of charts, and a lovely little note from Teresa about the box and about the picture I showed you, the little girls on the back. Yeah, waiting for Santa to come down the chimney and fill the stockings with gifts. When she took this print out of the delicate little original frame, inside was a note from a Mr. Burr called A Christmas Gift for Nellie, 1928. Brilliant. There were a couple of other little things in there. There's a little sewing project to make a little bird. I showed you the zipper, and there was also, for one of the projects, a hand-splattered ribbon and a little trim to make one of the projects in there up for the Samplers Not Forgotten. I showed you it had a little Christmas ornament with it. That's the lace trim to go with it. Oh, and these, the gorgeous colours from Gentle Arts. One of them's a limited edition. They're all Christmas themed. Hollyberry, mistletoe, limited edition, ginger snap, butter crunch, poinsettia. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, so what an absolute treat. So I haven't got much haul to show you because obviously I've been very naughty, and Phil buys me the Liberty box every year as well. So I've also been opening that. I won't tell you what else because, yeah, but in a way, I'd rather that than have a lot of Christmas gifts. So what else have I got? Quilting. Okay, now, you know, every month, and this month I was so lucky that the block was actually quite small. So I've done this block 5 this month because I try to do one every month, and I'm not sure next year if I'll be able to keep it going, but I really would like to. And this is what this month's looks like. So it was quite quick and easy this time because there weren't that many leaves to turn. And the flower, so there's one big bit and then the little pink bits appliqued over, and the butterfly. Really, really fun. I just love working on this. I love this spray starch method and the red embroidery, just stem stitch for the antennae. So that's block 5, and I was lucky. I think block 6 for January is massive. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get on with that. And then I said last time, my Laurie Holt Pumpkins and Haystacks quilt, I was going to put it away. Well, I didn't. For the next 2 days, I gave loads of time to this, and I really, really enjoyed it because I tried something new. For the first time, I cut all the shapes out to make the pumpkin using Laurie's shapes. And where's my board? Get my board. I use the machine because anything that's quicker, I'm all for it. And I'm doing a lot of hand applique with, I didn't tell you what the quilt was called, did I? It was My Summer House by Bunny Hill Designs, which I bought from the Sewing Studio, not Quilt Direct, the Sewing Studio. And the Bunny Hill is all hand applique, so it takes a long time. With this one, because I was so enjoying making the piece blocks up, I thought I would try, and these are quite large, aren't they? And there aren't that many parts to it. There's the big piece at the back. This bit sits over the middle, and then the leaf and the stem tucks underneath. So there's only 4 parts to each of them. And I thought I could do it on the machine. So that's what I did. I machine appliqued. I followed a brilliant tutorial. It wasn't a tutorial, it was like a live stream with Kimberly from the Fat Quarter Shop when she did her mercantile quilt. You know, when she made the big round shapes, and she did that on the machine, and I watched it a couple of times and then thought I can do that. So that's what I did. So I just machined around on the tiny shapes here, a 2.5 mil stitch, and on the bigger piece I went around with just a 3 mil stitch using a fairly neutral thread. I didn't change the colour of the thread. I just stuck to like a sort of nudie beige. I can't remember the Aurifil number, but whatever Kimberly says, you know, that's the one I use, and it kind of disappears on nearly every colour. So that's what I did. So last time I had 3 of the piece blocks done. Now I've got 4 all completely finished and appliqued, and I had so much fun. I can't tell you, I could even do this on my brother machine. I didn't need to, because normally with these round shapes I would use my hand Singer machine, but to go round I just went really slowly and used my brother machine. And because the stitches are a little bit bigger, I think this is going to be so much fun when it's made up. So there's 20, I think it's 5x4, 20 blocks in all. So I've got the first top row done. So I'm a fifth, is that right? I'm a fifth of the way in. I'm 4 across, the top row's done, and it's 5 rows long. So that is so much fun. I thoroughly recommend the kits from Fat Quarter Shop or wherever you can get them. That's where I got this, but you can get them from the quilt shop. It's down in Tenby, do a lot of the lorry quilts now. And you know, the Christmas bauble one, I didn't get a chance to work on that. But yeah, I've been a bit distracted because in terms of quilt plans, I didn't start the bauble because I've had a kit in my stash for a while. And then I heard that the Fat Quarter Shop were doing a stitch along. They're starting it in January and they're going to run it for the whole of the 12 months next year. And they're going to do 4 blocks every month. So I thought, well, that's great. That's really fun to do a quilt along with Fat Quarter Shop. So this is the chart. Right, first of all, let's start at the beginning. This is what it's called. It's the Vintage Christmas. And this is the original colourway that Laurie did, I think it was 8 years ago. Maybe 6 years ago, actually, in 2018. And I've got a lot of these fabrics. I've been trying to collect them, but it's quite hard to track them down in the UK because they're so old. And so when Laurie released her new range called, Hometown Holiday, it's going to be in these more muted colours. So instead of the bright aqua, the backgrounds for these are sort of like a little grey paisley. So this is block 1 and we'll start these in January. So I've got a bit distracted because I pulled the fabrics and I starched them, because what I'll do is I'll cut the fabrics, I want to say linen. I'll cut the fabrics as I go, you know, not all of it in one go, it would just be overwhelming. So I'll do each block, cut each block one at a time and make it up. So Away in a Manger is block 1. And then that's this one. So that'll be one of the blocks for January. Then this one as well, Candy Swirl block. Then the Candy Cane block down here. And then the Christmas Candles block. Now, I saw on the 15th of November, Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop showed her block. She's made them up already. So I know exactly which fabrics to pick for those. And then you just follow the instructions and they're going in the order of the book. So this book is widely available. And then this little new colour conversion and the plan is free on Fat Quarter Shop. You can just download it as a PDF. And we're starting at the front of the book and we're going in order. So, you know, this is what it'll look like. Yeah, but in the new colourway. So I'm super excited for that. I love the idea of working along with Kimberly because I just find her tutorials and things just so helpful. So that's plans for my quilting. Brilliant. What have I got next? Haul. I've been pretty good because I've been very naughty with advent boxes, let's be honest. So I haven't got much haul. I did get a few things. What did I get? I thought you might like to see these. How are we doing? Oh gosh, it's way too long. These I got off Etsy from a lovely little shop. Over the years, I've had quite a few things. These vintage little Santa. My girls don't watch my Flosstube, certainly not this length of time. So I thought I'll put those in their little stockings with all the rest of it. From Splattered Inky on Etsy. She's got some lovely little things. I also treated myself to this from Shakespeare's Peddler, Merry Little Christmas. I've always loved it. And Oh, who did I see finish this? Somebody finished it and I thought, oh, I love it. Then Christy, Crosshatch Quilts, of course, finished this. Her and Laurie made that and I just thought, I've got to have it. So I've got the tangerine, but I just wanted the velvet pear. So Christy, oh, I just loved her latest Flosstube as well. Did you see her little blackbird stockings? They were just so sweet and cute. I've made a few, but I just want to do a lot more. So yeah, I've really enjoyed her Flosstube, and I'm so glad that Laurie and Christy have been doing their Flosstubes, because I've been missing Brenda and Laura, and I can't wait for them to come back after their break. And I feel like we haven't seen Carol Saltbox for a long time either. So I've been catching up with Heidi's Whips and Kits, Phoebe's Moonshine Stitchery. They're doing Christmas at Hawker and Hollow as a stitch along, so I might try and join in with them. Then I was a little bit naughty because I treated myself to the thing that I wanted all along, which was the Kohana little baby bag. Now, you know, I got the scissors last time, and I just went straight to Kohana this time, to the shop direct, and they weren't on Nikki's website, otherwise I would have gone there. They might be now, because I just got another pair, but in the cutesy little bag. Because these wax bags are just so sweet. And inside, they always have these little, sort of very delicate little baskets. And there's a snowflake needle minder with this gorgeous pin. Oh, I'm a sucker for the little things like this. And the scissors are just gorgeous. The bag, look at it. I'm going to keep it out on my desk because it's like a baby version. I've got two of the other wax bags, which are great for knitting, by the way. If you knit, you can put the round balls will fit in the bigger bags. But this is just, I'm going to leave it out on my desk all the time because it's so beautiful. Also there's two needles that look like they're self-threading. Now, I use Kohana needles for my applique on my Bunny Hill quilt because they're so fine and tiny that the thread, it just all becomes a little bit invisible. You can't see the stitches. So those are self-threading. I thought that I haven't had time to practice. I've only just opened this before I pressed film. And then a little wooden tree with some of their threads. Oh man, it's just so nice. So that was a little treat to me. Oh, I was a bit naughty, but the thing is, I will use these scissors, and you've seen the state of my other ones, haven't you? I mean, look how dirty they are. They're very dirty and scratched, and the tassel's gone off. But I love them, love them, and they're so sharp. And I always start cross stitch with the pin stitch, so you really need Kohana's, or I don't know, any other brand that is, you know, cuts like that. So right on the surface, so that your pin stitch doesn't show and it's really, really flat. So I did get that. And also with it came this rather fabulous, that's one of the bags I've got, the pink one, a little calendar with all beautiful pictures each month. So yeah, that's a bit of fun. I've got that now. I've got those in my gingerbread. Yeah, I do love Kohana. Sometimes you've just got to have the right stuff. What else? Just a few, I've shown you the chart. So that's what I bought. And then I had some Happy Mail. Well, first I had this because months and months ago I won a giveaway from the Fat Quarter Shop on one of their live streams. I don't know what you want to do, but anyway, I won this, and it's called the Swig Cup, which keeps your coffee, and it's got Kimberly's quilts blocks all over it. So that's sweet, isn't it? So I was lucky enough to win that. Then today in the post, I couldn't believe it, I had this from Rika. Now, Rika is so kind, House of Stitch and Stash. I'm meeting her in January at Sampler Symposium because I don't even know if I've told you I got a place. I think I got a place. I haven't paid for it yet, and I haven't seen an email to settle the bill. But on the 15th of January, I think I'm travelling to Sampler Symposium at the Attic in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm pretty sure Rika's going to be there. And I know Brenda, the sampler stitcher, is going to be there. So I'm so excited. But Rika, when she was down at Shepherd's Bush at the retreat with Brenda Chevet, she kindly sent me the charts that we can't get. So I've got Noel, I've got Let It Snow, this old one, which I never could get, Winter Pine, what is it? Winter Berries and Pine, that everybody in the States has stitched. Jordan the Tattoo Stitcher has done this. And who else has done it? Jessica, Sweetwater Stitcher. And so many people have finished this too. Peace and Goodwill. And this, I'm going to have to start this because I've done the other two. Winter Swan, Christmas Swan even. Isn't it lovely? So I'm going to have to get on that one because, you know, obviously it's a series. I'm 2 down, 2 to go. So those were so kindly sent to me with the most precious note inside from Rika. And she's been so busy putting her fabulous kit boxes together. So if you're in the States, please do go and have a look at Rika's things because her work is just so exquisite. And the portfolios and project bags she makes are fabulous. And then I signed up months ago now for Barry Hamby Stitch Folks winter box, and it came through my door last week and I literally squealed like when I opened the Blackbird Noel chart and Alma had written that about it made me squeal. I opened this and it said, what's in your winter box? Well, first of all, this is what it's all about. This is the main event. Naughty Mildred. Joy to the world. And look at her face. She doesn't look very happy. Surrounded by all the woodland creatures. Look at the fabrics. Oh, it's just fabulous. So this, if you can get your hands on, even if it's not every quarter, I mean, it's the first box I've had, and it's just, I mean, it just makes sewing so much fun, and it's just a treat, isn't it? I don't buy clothes. I'd much rather have Barry's quarterly stitch box, please. So we got the charming Mildred and her forest friends in such a festive mood. Then we had a Mildred Needleminder, and this is created by Mad for Minders, which is lovely, isn't it? Fab. Then we've got the most gorgeous lidded tin with amazing smelling beeswax. I opened it actually, not that you can smell it, but proper beeswax stick, which is just fab. And it's all sealed with a heart, you know, everything's so beautifully done. Then this, in a little Santa bag with the most gorgeous vintage Santa postcard inside. This little velveteen acorn pin keep. And Barry'd been waiting, it's a real acorn top. She'd been saving the cotton and the velveteen just for this project. The acorn caps were sourced from a lovely lady in the woods of New Hampshire in the States. The pin keeps are filled with crushed walnut shells. I mean, it's just the sweetest thing. Did I tell you last year I had this in my one of my knitting wool advent boxes from Sherry Iris, and this is a little pin filled with, it's half a walnut shell, a little pin cushion, and things like that. I mean, honestly, Phil thinks I'm mad, but they are the most precious thing, and they stay out all the time. I don't put those away. So that, for now, I'm just going to treasure. We also had Sweet Treats and Tea, which I've been so good not to open, and it's got peppermint bark. Oh, I can't wait to try that. I'm going to have it in a minute. And then because Barry is just such a sweetie, and we've got the same mugs from the Stitchery, our Christmas mugs with Star of Wonder, and oh, We Three Kings and all of that, she sent me a little extra thing. Now this, did I write the fabric down? I didn't. Is it L'Atelier Perdue? This fabric, it's the same as the one that Rika used on her portfolio. This is a different type look. It's got the little Dutch windmill. It's just so pretty. And look at that long house. Look at the colour of the fabrics. Oh, I just love it. Thank you, Barry. Everything you do is exquisite. And then, I couldn't believe it, she sent me from her own collection a little bit of, not a little bit, it's a fat quarter, a 40 count needle and flax sleeping bear with the lovely story about the famous legend of the Indian Americans and the fable about the sleeping bear and how the mountains formed in that region of North and South Manitou. I just love reading things like that. How precious is that? So we can't get needle and flax very easily. When it comes into Peakside, I get a little bit of everything, but we've never had sleeping bear to my knowledge in the UK. So I'm so excited and so grateful, and it just means so much. So that was my quarterly stitch box from Barry. Absolutely amazing. I'm sure there's something I've forgotten, but I think I need to wrap it up. And anything I've forgotten, the giveaway winners. I pulled 2 winners. The winner for the Autumn Swan, which I gave away last time, was Erica Wilmore. I put a photograph, Erica, of your YouTube name at the end in the slideshow. And the winner of Fall, Feels Like Fall, I'm pretty sure, unless there are 2 Hazel Andersons, Hazel Anderson I just mentioned as the designer of my Quaker Christmas 2 linen, because that clotted cream 40 count linen was made by Foxglove and Lace, and the owner of that company is Hazel Anderson. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that might be who's just won this. So Hazel, I'll put a picture of your comment at the end, and please both get in touch with me at my periwinkle.stitcher@gmail.com email, and I will ship those out to you. And so that's it, guys. I just wanted to say I've stayed up late last night taking some film of my Christmas decorations, because I do, oh my goodness me, I haven't shown you my finishes. Let me do my previous finishes. Okay, I'll be quick with these because I have put a film in at the end. So these are my Prairie Schooler Santas, Old World Santas, on 36 count putty, finished with French General, I didn't write it down, a Christmas Noel French General layer cake I've got. And so that's got the little holly leaf, and these I made a little bit taller by adding a top and bottom. Aren't they lovely? And finished the back in the same. So these are that kind of muted red French General that I love with the putty linen. What else have I got? I've got, with that needle and thread, this is finished with this beautiful red gingham mini fabric. This is Souvenirs of the Heart, Home for the Holidays. There are 4 or 3 in the series, and I've done 2 of them. I haven't done the summer one with this lovely little snowflake pin here. This is 1/1, so it's tiny, and I've put lentils or chickpeas inside, dried split peas, I mean. 1/1 on 28 count mushroom Lugana. Absolutely love the cardinal. Look how tiny they are. So that's that. And then I've got this side, I've got Blackbird, again finished in that gorgeous French General Christmas layer cake I got years ago. I couldn't get the cords for, so I did this on 36 count R&R Barb's blend, which is a dead ringer for the fabric that was called, oh, it was some Dames of the Needle. This has got beads in, and you personalise the numbers, so that I did this in 2022. There's beads around the neck here. This is from the Blackbird book. Let me show you. This is from Home for the Holidays, and that's what this one is called. It's the very first one in the book. Here we go. Home for the Holidays. And yeah, Barb's blend is a really good substitute for it called for 35 count Peeps Lost Sheep by Dames of the Needle, and I used Katie Strachan's finishing technique for that to do the lovely little trio of beads, the little clusters, because again, it very similar to how Blackbird finished it. They bought the beads on a strip, but I couldn't find that, and I thought it's just as cute to just make your own beaded finish like that, and probably a lot cheaper actually. That's that one. This is another one. Now this is, I absolutely love this. It's very different, okay? It's more of a modern vibe, because this is by Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery. These are called Merry Birds. There are 4 of them in the chart, and I've done 2. So for 2 years I did one. I really should try and have another go this year. This is on 36 count Seraphim Dead Sea Scroll fabric, and I finished it with really glitzy tinsel and bright Laurie Holt kind of Christmas decoration looking fabric, just to be a bit different. So it's given a really modern, I just made those tiny pom-poms, just put it on a pin. So because the colours are so bright, and I think it's got the DMC metallic threads in there for the baubles. And this is the other one. Finished again with Laurie, sort of Christmas. Oh, I think it is from Vintage Christmas. And this one is Heap Up the Holly. Aren't they fun? I just love those. Yeah. Slice up the fruitcake, heap up the holly. Love that. So there's 2 more. I've got a little, tied a few nutmeg sticks together. So these are out in various places, and they'll be on the video at the end. What else? I've got this little one. This is an embroidery one. This was Pierre the Penguin, with quite a lot of turkey stitch to make the pom-pom on his hat. So this is one of Nikki Franklin's Advents, long and short stitch. And it's so clever that you can almost make the stitches look like a Fair Isle knitted bobble hat. Yeah, so sweet. And again, finished in the French General, something de Noël. Yeah, he's so cute. He's always up by himself. He gets his own bowl. Then I've got this one, Brenda Gervais, Candy Cane Wishes. Again, this is a green 36 counts Weigart linen from Hazel Anderson, Foxglove and Lace. Just the perfect colour. I can't remember what was called for, but I couldn't get it. So that's perfect. It's got tiny red seed beads. I can't remember if that was called for on the chart, probably. Or maybe I was just in a beading phase. Finished on one of those little papier-mâché boxes that I just whitewashed. And I love that finish. I can't wait to do the Santa in the same way. So that's that one. Then I've got a finish from the Bells on Christmas Day. I'd love to do the sampler. I'm pretty sure somebody's done that, and I can't remember now. Who's done that? This is what I finished. Friendships, I mustn't show the chart. Friendships Gathering thimble bag. So I did this in 2022. This is on 30, what's it on? 32 count. Picture this plus oaken. 1/2. It's just lovely. Classic blackbird colours. Finished exactly as Alma says, or Barb, in the instructions. Finished with French General. I think, I can't remember the range, but classic French General, you know, it's very famous. And so that's another finish. Then I had this one, which was Phil's Christmas present last year. Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread with the beads. Oh, look, that's my favourite bit. Look at the beads. And this is on 36 count R&R, Winter's Brew, all the call for threads. And I personalised this. It just worked that it fitted Pippi's house. And so I gave that to Phil last year because we call him Pip. When he's in our good books, we call him Pip. And when he's not, we call him Phil. So that's some of my finishes. Oh, a few more. Okay, a few more. I've got these are my favourites. I always say that. These are my favourites for sure. Shepherd's Bush, a kit that I got when I made friends with Tina in lockdown. And I ordered a massive box of Shepherd's Bush things, and this was one. It comes with the buttons, it comes with the beads, it comes with everything, possibly not the pin. And it's just so cute. And it came with the backing fabric, everything, the ribbon, all of it. So I finished that. It's called Merry Bee by Shepherd's Bush. This is another one. Actually, I didn't get this. I got this from Peakside, where you buy the button and the chart comes free. And I finished it with Katie Strachan's beaded trim. Look at him, isn't he lovely? And I did it with the whisper thread. So that's why it looks a little bit messy, because it's very hard to stitch with that thread. But I love it. And that's on 30 count weak straw, would you believe? It just, I only ever do 1/2, never 2. This is Rudolph and Friends by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, with a lovely button. And yeah, really cute. And this came out the same year as Santa Stops Here, and I lined it with a little tiny gold polka dot. So that lives in my basket here with this. This was a kit from Shepherd's Bush with the finishing fabric with it. Look at it, tiny candy canes. All of the pins set with the little sheep. The beads on his, I just love this. And all the tiny buttons. It's so precious to me, this. This is one of the first things I ever stitched. They sent the trim and the special crochet thread to couch the trim down. And it's called Making Spirits Bright. And it does. Look at his hat. The snowman. And the hills. And there's different stitches here. There's satin stitch on the bottom. And it's precious because the buttons, it's just made, I think this is on a 32 count. But it came as a kit, so you use what you give them in those type of things from Shepherd's Bush. And oh, the day I opened that box, I think I took a video because I had so many things in it. Then just a couple of last ones. I've got Joy to the World. This sits on the mantelpiece because it's one of my very, very favourites. This is on 40 count. Picture this plus ale. Love that linen. It's so dark. And this is Erica Michaels, Joy to the World. And I did do the strawberry, which I gifted that was on 40 count Picture This Plus Tyco, is cream. So she does the pillows in the dark ale and then the strawberry in the pale cream. They're both gorgeous. I love that. So that sits on my mantelpiece. Look at the little angel. Heaven and nature sing. Then I've got Blackbird Designs Early Christmas Morning drum. First drum I ever made. And so I did this, a long time ago. I can remember though that those all the millions of doodads were in onion skin. I think that's Gentle Arts, and beautiful colour greens. And the band around the edge, Merry Christmas, and the join. It's beautiful. It's upside down. Yes, so that's my Blackbird design. That's on 36 count R&R Winter Brew. Love it. Then I've got on my bright colourful windowsill in the kitchen, I've got my Cup of Christmas Cheer by Brenda Gervais with a lovely little button that we had in our advent calendar from Patchwork Rabbit, which I missed this year. They're not doing one, in my little mug. That's on 40 count R&R Brenda's Brew, and a lovely bright gingham on the back and a really bright red edging to match this crazy GMC bright red. So I love that, love that. And then here's one I made, can't remember when I made these, but I love these. I've forgotten what they're called. The Bells on Christmas Day, something like that. Again, followed it all to the letter and used this gorgeous velvet by Lady Dot Creates, which was great to work with. I thought it was going to be fraying and all, but it was great. So that's Peace on Earth, Goodwill to Men. And I changed the lettering to be one of the bronze GMC, sort of glittery bronze. It comes on a spool, so it's much nicer than using the skeins. I bought one on a spool in my local shop, and I just thought it would sort of jazz it up a little bit. Absolutely love these. So they hang in my lounge aren't they lovely? I love opening my Christmas decorations. It just fills me with such joy. And then the last one I'll show you is right at the back here. This is one of the first ones I ever finished for Christmas. This is by Blackbird Designs. It's Christmas Rose, and it's one of the Christmas series, and there are quite a few. I've only got I don't think I even have the other charts actually. I'd love to do more. With my initials there, because my married name is Griffiths, and I just love that. This is on 36 count Picture This Plus Wren, which I love Wren. I've got quite a few projects and a big stash of Wren that I need to get going on. So that's one of my favourites. So she comes out and is framed for Christmas. Comes out every year. I just love to open my decorations and see what I've got. So I'm sorry guys, it's taken so long. This is a 2-hour mega Christmas episode, but on this happy note of looking at our Christmas decorations, I'm going to wish you a really happy and festive season. Happy Christmas. And I hope you all get what you want for Christmas, and that it includes some stitching time in peace and quiet in between all the madness. Until next time, thanks for spending time with me. Take care and happy stitching.